Hey guys, Barry here from Epic Cycles. In this video, we will be doing a tutorial and showing you exactly how to switch out your controllers on the Wolf King GT Pro. So as you can see down here, we have all the essential tools and parts that we need to change the controllers, which include both front and rear controller. Then you got just two Allen key wrenches, a number 4 and a number 3, as well as some wire cutters and some replacement tie wraps that we're going to need to use, and some lithium grease, which we will be applying to the controllers, to the new controllers. All right, so let's get started. So our controllers on the Wolf King GT are located inside this area over here, this section. So we're going to use not a number 4, I guess, a number 3 to remove 4 bolts holding it in place. There's one. Two. And the last one. All right, let's get the cover off. I just want to show you the cover here. You can see, and it's got a silicone lining here for some extra water protection as well. All right, so now that we have the front cover off here, we have the main electrical circuit board wiring all exposed. The controllers are actually inside of here, so we're going to need to remove this section here. So to do this, we're going to first take our wire cutters. There's going to be 3 zip ties here that we're going to need access to remove it. So I'm going to carefully cut that. 1, 2, down here, 3. Okay, and there's actually a 4th one right here. It becomes visible. We'll remove this as well. So let's remove that. Okay, as you can see, we're getting more access here, and now we're going to need to remove this plate over here. So we're going to take, well, here it's going to be number 3 again. So we have another 4 bolts that you can see that we're going to need to remove. Alright, so the last one is removed from the internal plate. So let's get this out of the way. And as you can see, our controllers are now exposed and visible. So now we have access to them. Alright, so now that we removed this internal plate, there's another 4 screws that we're going to need to remove, which is effectively going to remove the front part of the scooter. So let me show you here. In this instance, we're going to switch over to the number 4 Allen key wrench. Yep, that's a 4. And then the last two are at the bottom, right underneath the bottom controller. You can see right here. So get that. Right, put that out carefully. Third. Now the fourth and final one here. Alright, got it. Okay, so now you can see the front part is out. Now that you have the front part off, it's actually being held together here by the wire from the headlights and the horn. So we're going to remove those wires so that we get some free space here. So those wires are going to be these two connectors right here. Okay, so once we remove these, 1, 2, this comes out. Okay, now we're going to remove the 4 bolts here. These 4 actually are the ones that hold the controllers in place. So here we're going to use a number 3 Allen key wrench. And you can see that lithium grease on these bolts, so I'll let they use that, which is good. We're going to use it as well when we put the new ones in. Okay, so now you can see that our controllers here are loose and they are free. So you see that? This is how we're going to want to apply our lithium grease on the new ones as well, the same way. This will act as a coolant and as well give it a little bit of more waterproofing element to it. So let's take these controllers out and put the new ones in. Mention the placement of the controllers. So you can see here controller A, which is for the rear motor, is placed on the top, and controller B for the front motor is placed on the bottom. Okay, so just make that note while you're doing this to make sure that you save yourself some time and put it properly. Now we're going to disconnect all the cables and wires here from the controllers. Now I'm going to try to remove this electrical tape slowly, neatly, so possibly you can reuse it if there's still enough stickiness to it and you don't crumple it all up. Otherwise, you can just use new electrical tape. Okay, so I'm going to stick this here. Okay, remember we're dealing with a 72 volt system here. It's a very powerful system. So you're going to want to make sure that you don't have the connectors touching each other because you can get a nice spark, a nice shock here. So just be aware of that. So we're going to be extra careful here when we do this, as should you. This piece of tape played a little bit of hardball with me, so may need to replace that one, but that's fine. Okay, like I said, make sure we keep those wires away from each other. battery cable is unplugged. We're going to unplug it from the unit here, which is the line collector unit. And we got one more cable here. This is the cable that connects the two controllers together so that they communicate to each other. Okay, hold on, we just gotta find the tape. All right, so looks like we removed controller A so far. So this is our new one. And then the process for this controller, controller B, will be the same. We will remove it the same way. For the purpose of this video, I'm not gonna go through it. I'm just gonna put the controller A back in just to demonstrate how we replace it and put it back together again. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take a little bit of the lithium grease and put it over this middle section right here, particularly where we put the screws. Metal on metal, that's where you want it mostly. And now we will go through the process of reattaching it and closing it back up. All right, so now let's say you're going to replace your new controller. We're going to start off by first inserting the electrical cable in. So a note to make, you see the tab on the top. You want to make sure that this tab is facing upwards the same way it was when we took it out, that lock. This one will go in to the bottom where we pulled it off from, right here. So let's get that in first. You hear that click, so that's good. And then we remove the other wire on the top, which we'll put this in now. And again, you're going to want to make sure that the tab, which is the locking mechanism, is also facing upwards. That's the correct way. Okay, you hear the click, so that's that. Now we're going to start reattaching the wires. So this wire right here, this first wire, this is the wire that connects the two controllers together, the communication wire from controller A to controller B. So let's put this in first. Now we're going to want to retape it. Okay, I got some new electrical tape because this one was just killed by me, so we're going to apply some new tape. Without it, other than protecting it, it also comes out like very easily. So I had trouble taking it off before, but so that will kind of secure it and keep it together as well. Okay. Next, we're going to connect the Hall. This is the Hall sensor, the motor's Hall sensor. So we're going to connect this wire next. Hear that clip? That's good. And these three wires here, these colorful wires, the yellow, green, and blue, these are also our motor cables. So this is fairly simple. You're just going to want to match up the colors. And then we will add our electrical tape back to it. Now I saved this for last. We're going to be connecting, these are the two battery connectors. So just a little pre-warning to our viewers here. It always sparks up when you put this battery. It's a 72-volt battery, so a lot of power here, which is why I said it's important to keep these wires away from each other. But we're gonna have a spark here. Even though I know about it, I'm still probably gonna get startled, but I'll try not to. So let's see. All right, that one didn't go yet. Here we go. A little fireworks, hopefully not too much. You don't see me get fried here. Woo! See, I still got startled, as I said I would. Okay, but we knew it's coming, right? So if you see that, point is, don't be afraid. That's something to expect. Okay, let's definitely wrap these wires. Now this one's messed up a little. I'm going to use a new tape here. All right, so all our wires are back in place, and now we are going to be putting our controllers back in and everything back into place. So we're going to put controller A, like we said before, in the same position, back to the top. Okay, and I'd like to mention that one of the wires here, the controller connectors, it came apart, but it is a short wire, so I'm going to first connect this, and then we're going to make sure to reconnect this wire back to controller B. Okay, so we got the controller up here, with the cables facing to the left, and now we're going to screw it back into place. So to do that, push it up all the way, almost. The easy way to tell which screw it is the one that had the lithium grease on before. So get that in. Up. All right, so I got it. Got the first one. Let go. Got the second one. And we got the second one here. Nice, secure. You can feel it tightening up. This one loosened up here, the other side, so I'll retighten that. All right, she's in. Okay, time to get controller B inside. So we're going to do the same for that. With the wires again facing to the left. Okay, put it in place here first. Grab the right screw here. In. Try to catch it. Yep. I think I caught it. Or not. Hold on. Yeah, I caught it. Okay. All right. Controllers are secure. Now we said we're not going to forget. We're going to reattach the communication cable, and I'll probably end up taking this tape off, perhaps. I have to. Or not. I think we're okay. Yeah, we're okay without it. So that's back together. So we're not going to have any issues, communication issues there. And now, time to close this up. All right, so once you got your controllers in and secured, we're going to put the front plate back on and reattach the lights, headlights, and the horn back into the electronic module line collect box. All right, so this goes in here. All right, it's tightening up here. All right, so we'll do that. Yep. Now that I secure the top two screws of the front cover, I'm gonna leave the bottom screws undone for now, just so we have wiggle room. So I could attach this controller plate cover first. So let's get that in. So we're gonna want to match it up. There we go. Okay, so the controller plate cover is now secure. So now we're going to try to organize our wires carefully, and at this point, catch it. Okay, so I'm going to put the tie wrap in here, and now we're going to use this to secure the line collect box for all the cables. So we got this. I'm going to put it somewhere here in the middle. Try not to interfere with any of the cable ports. All right. That should be good. I'm not going to make it too tight just in case, but tight enough to keep it in place here. And it goes in nicely here between these two hands that kind of hold it in place from top to bottom. Okay. And now we can actually reconnect our horn and light. So if you recall, we pulled them out, one from the white and one from the red. I don't recall which one's which, but that's why we will test it before we close it. If I do this wrong, the horn will actually just stay on all the time when I turn on the lights. So that's not good, but we'll fix it if that's the case by simple trial and error. Okay, so now this is the lights. I'll get that into the bottom right here, I believe. That's it. Test. All right, so now let's just test that to make sure that was correct. So first we test the horn. Looks like I got it right. And the lights. All right, so now we don't want to forget before we close all this up that we did not put the bottom two screws for the front plate cover. So I'm going to take care of that right now. So that goes right here at the bottom. Nice and snug. Okay, that's good. One more. All right. Okay, now let's finish organizing our wires. We're going to zip tie them back up. Put a little bend here, a little hook in my zip tie so I can get it. Catch it easy. There we go. Gonna grab these cables. Okay. That is excess half. Okay. Oops. Okay. That's good. What's going on? Yeah. Good. Okay. So we're gonna tuck into the bottom. So now that we got this zip tied and organized, the wires, we're going to put the cover on, protective cover here for the controllers and wiring. Keep in mind that there is opening grooves here, so that's to allow these wires here on the side room to come out, so that's fine, right? So we're going to match it up, make sure no cables are being pinched and that the proper cables are in where they need to be, which they are. And now we're going to start by closing this back up. All right, so we got the cover back on. All the wires and cables are nestled nicely inside, and these cables are sitting outside here. We tested everything, so everything's functioning properly. We just obviously it's a very extensive tutorial here, but it is as you can see, a pretty big job to actually replace a controller. It's not just plug and play, as you can see. It is, but there's a lot of components to get through to it and proper ways to do it, and a special attention care to get it done, and then as well to put it back together. So there's a right way, obviously, and a wrong way to do this. So just make sure if you want to do this yourself, take the steps and take your time, do it very carefully, make sure wires don't get mixed up or crossed, and that when you put it back, it's all organized neatly and properly. Otherwise, you're going to have a hell of a time putting this back together, and many other problems can be caused. But as you can see through this step-by-step tutorial, this is the way it's done, and it's proper. If this was helpful for you, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe below for more awesome content and show you how to do many other things. If you have any suggestions, let us know. We'll be happy to help you with any of our products. Until next time, guys, wishing you an epic day or night. Peace.